Alright guys, so I was going to do a review of the Rockford Fosgate for the Can-Am Maverick X3, and I do have a video of how to install it, and as you can see, I only have the head unit left. I actually took out the speakers and the panels and replaced them back with the factory ones, and I'll tell you why. Man, am I disappointed. Alright, so everything started out great. I was actually loving the way that the speakers looked with the panels installed, and I'll do a cutaway here so you can see what it looks like. I absolutely loved it. It sounded pretty decent actually. It wasn't the greatest because I didn't have it hooked up to an amplifier. I did, however, install some tower speakers. Those are kicker 8-inch speakers. I also did an aftermarket amplifier, and that's when everything started to go down the drain. Following the installation video that I shot for you guys on the Rockford Fosgate sound system, I actually had it parked for a couple of days until I received my rear tower speakers and an external 4-channel amplifier. And during the video shoot for the installation for the rear tower speakers, once I was almost done with the whole process, I discovered that the rear RCA outputs are not working on the head unit. And I tried swapping RCAs and played with the settings. I called up Rockford Fosgate, and essentially I had a bad head unit that was not putting out a signal from the rear RCAs. So that was only the second issue that I was having with the Rockford Fosgate head unit. The other problem that I was still waiting to hear back from Rockford Fosgate about was the mounting of the Trail Active module. The issue was that in their directions they had a correct panel shown with the right mounting locations for the module. The problem was the panel that I received only had 2 mounting locations. I did contact Rockford Fosgate, and their response was that I probably received somehow by mistake the older version of the panel, and that they were going to ship me a replacement that was the updated correct one. Well, I got the updated correct one, and it was the same exact one that I originally received. Regardless, I was going to overlook this issue because it still got the job done. It was mounted up there half-assed, but it still worked. I was even willing to ship the head unit back, have them repair or replace the rear outputs for the RCAs, and have them ship it back to me so I could continue the installation and have everything working fine. Just because for the fact that I really liked the way that the whole sound system looked. The fit and finish was absolutely awesome, and it sounded really good. Unfortunately, we're not done here, and the saga continued. So what finally sent me over the edge was this. And I noticed as soon as I drove the Can-Am for the first time, steering wheel pulls to the right. I'm gonna put in the speaker and you'll see the steering wheel move. Starting to move right now. There you go. Put the speaker around here, I could actually get the steering wheel to move one way or another slightly. There it goes. You can see the steering wheel move. So of course I hopped online and I started doing some research, and I discovered that I wasn't the only one having this issue, and actually mine wasn't even as bad as some of these other people that were posting about having a hard pull to the right after installing the Rockford Fosgate speaker panels with the speakers. In some cases, some of the dealers actually had no idea as to what was going on and what was the reason why it was happening. So I actually reached out to a Can-Am dealer and I directly asked them if that's something that they have seen before when they have installed the same sound system in their shop. And their response was, yes, they've seen it multiple times, and the regular practice is that when they install the speakers, they have to reprogram the dynamic power steering. Now, the issue was that it's not always corrected 100%, and they actually strongly urged me to stay away from installing the speakers in that location just because it affects the dynamic power steering. So of course, once again, I reached out to Rockford Fosgate to see what could be done about the problem that it's pulling to the right. Well, their response was simple. You need to take it to the dealer and have them reprogram the dynamic power steering so it tracks straight. Well, the shady part is that when it comes to something like steering, I feel like it should have been disclosed somewhere that might need to be done before you go flying down the trail at 80 miles an hour. And of course, not to even mention the fact that the dealer isn't going to do that for free and it's going to cost you extra. But of course, from what it seems like, Rockford Fosgate wants you to discover that on your own. So unfortunately, this was my experience with Rockford Fosgate. On the other hand, there are a ton of people that have had absolutely zero issues with the same sound system. And honestly, I'm not even mad. I actually still like Rockford Fosgate. I think some of their products are really good. So if you guys are considering getting any of their stage systems, this is definitely one of the things to think about before you dash out almost $1,000 of your hard-earned money to crawl the extra mile to make things right. But in my case, I'm going to be going a different route. I'm going to be replacing the head unit with the JVC head unit. Now, the JVC is actually less expensive and it has more features like the option for a backup camera. And I believe it's actually the same head unit made in the same factory with just a different brand on it, even though Rockford Fosgate is owned by Rockford Corporation and JVC is Japan's Victor company. But after doing a side-by-side comparisons, you could obviously tell that it's made in the same factory using the same materials for a lower price tag with more options. And as far as the speaker goes, I ended up going with Kicker 6.5 Marine speakers and a SSV Works speaker pods that mount on the kicker panels underneath the dash. If you guys are curious about the installation of that, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I will have a video on that posted coming up soon. If you guys enjoy the video, smash the like button and let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.